Bro, we had like a full-blown conversation about this, guys. The View? Stop. Listen, we're here for it, though. We're going to go ahead and check this out, see where this video takes us immediately. But guys, The View. The name of the video here is Trump touts framework of the future Greenland deal. This is coming from The View. This is a suggestion via a channel member. I think you guys just like torturing me. But either way, let's go ahead and encounter this immediately. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
You can't, if you put this in a movie, you would not believe it was happening. Yeah, I hope they do.
Yeah.
So White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is trying to clean up you-know-who's for mixing up Greenland with Iceland at his speech in Davos, saying that his written speech called Greenland a piece of ice. But he clearly did not stick to that script after that. Now, you'll understand after you watch this.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. And I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Okay, hold on.
They called me daddy, right, last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy.
Okay, wait. I didn't see the footage. All right, listen, hear me out for a second here. It's a little bit wild, like specifically if we're doing like all of these things, like for the sole purpose of like attempting to actually get Greenland, you should probably get that correct, if that makes any sense here. But I will say though, it is an incredibly common mistake, all right? Because green, ice, you would suspect that, you know, Greenland's probably Iceland, but obviously there are a lot of people who legitimately think Iceland is a place with all of the ice, but it's Greenland. And Greenland is a place with all of the green, but it's, you see what I'm saying here, guys, right? It's a super common mistake. I mean, I get it. Let's make fun of the old man talking on the stage here type thing, right? But just understand this here, bro. It is a common mistake. I'm not trying to make excuses, but it is in fact a super common mistake.
I guess he's mixing up Epstein. Anyway, maybe he's also having a tough time keeping his story straight on what kind of deal he made about Greenland. Take a look.
Will you have control of all of Greenland, Mr. President?
How many countries?
Does this ultimately mean that the U.S. will ultimately acquire Greenland?
Well, I don't know if I can say that, but it could be. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
Yes. So details are vague. We do know that he backed off military action and tariffs against the EU. So what, look, I don't even want to ask you all the question because you know what I'm going to ask you and you just have to answer it.
Well,
what is going on?
Well, at least Greenland is safe, but Iceland is not. So that's the good news.
Yes.
But, you know, in my opinion, he tries to create, he's not too bright, but he also tries to create chaos all the time. As we talk about it a lot here, about the distraction from the Epstein files, and Jack Smith is testifying today, and he's going to nail him on January 6th. So that...
I mean, I definitely hope that since she's so obsessed with legitimately the Epstein files, that she then would then push her party specifically to force Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton to basically, adhere to the congressional subpoena and actually go through and give them their statements. But instead, she's going to keep drilling facts home or her specific idea of what a fact is. Let's just say this year. Instead of actually pushing the actual needle. You're the one that's on TV. I mean, I get it. The right by default dislikes every single thing kind of about this show, mainly her and Whoopi, with how they generally have to, apologize for some of the ridiculous things that they say, including Sonny, right? So understand this here, bro. If you're going to push this hard, make sure you're pushing on both sides because, guys, I definitely push on both sides. Let's continue.
That's what goes on in his head. Even though he's got chaos going on in his head, he also is very, sincere about causing the chaos, you know? Because intentional chaos. Yeah. I think that's what he does.
Well, not to pat myself on the back, but this is exactly what I said could happen earlier this week. Under a 1951 defense agreement, Under a 1951 defense agreement, the U.S. has always had the ability to expand our military presence in Greenland. In fact, NATO would welcome it. And to remind people, Arctic security does matter, especially with global warming. Those become more navigable waters. One of the big reasons it matters is because ICBMs, if they came from Russia or China or Iran to the United States, would likely go over that region. It's a huge place that we want missile defense capabilities. All good things, but why do it in the maximum chaos way that he did?
No.
And I have come to a conclusion. We keep saying, what is
wanna
the
hear
check
her
on
out
this
for a
White
second.
House in the second term? What is the check on Donald Trump? The one answer is the U.S. stock market. That is what he reacts to, the stock market. So if you were following the day that he was announcing all of this and sounded like we were really going to seize all of Greenland, we were going to defy our NATO alliances, the S&P 500 declined 2%, which equates to $750 billion in loss of wealth, which is actually
That's all of us, by the way.
more than the cost
But
of
it's
Greenland.
really him.
But remarkable.
No, it's all of us. I'm gonna go ahead. Listen, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to side with Joy on this one here. I saw Whoopi immediately start laughing when whoever this person here in the end basically started talking about the stock market. The reason why Trump cares so much about the stock market is because absolutely the majority of Americans, kind of regardless of whatever side they're on, let's just say this here, they're generally partaking in some manner in the stock market. They may not even know, right? Because the amount of people that I've had conversations with kind of regarding like a 401k and them not actually knowing what that even is, right? Or specifically, if they have a bank account and they have a savings account, do you understand why the bank is specifically giving you like this small, meaningless, irrelevant interest rate? Is because they're basically investing your money in the stock market. So even if you think you are not in the stock market in some way, you are. That's where these interest rates are generally coming from with savings accounts and 401ks, et cetera, IRAs, SEP IRAs, et cetera, all of these things. And the fact that Joy said that's all of us, I'm glad she someone kind of explained that. But Whoopi's overall literal ignorance here is palpable here. You can just like taste it, my boys. All right, this is frustrating.
It's more than the cost of Greenland, which is roughly $700 billion. Now, the stock market's rallied since he's backed off of this. But
Right.
it is interesting to see that the one thing that kind of gets him to walk away, his tariffs,
Follow
he
the
starts
money
to
with
roll in
him.
that.
That's all we
Follow the
care
money.
So follow
about.
the stock market.
Mary Trump, just one second to get this out. Mary Trump, his niece, I was reading her Twitter account or something, and she's talking about how he is not a loved person. He was not loved as a child, and so he worships money or something. Even his children are transactional relationships. I feel sorry for him.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do?
Okay.
The poor guy,
yeah.
no one loves him.
That's a bit of a...
Yeah, this is ridiculous, guys. See, you see, like she messes it up immediately. Like you guys do understand that historically, the main dynamics that men and women used to exude, not so much anymore, because I think for the most part, people like these people sitting down here, and organizations that push overall the same narrative, are definitely kind of in league to almost immediately, let's say, make everyone a woman. It's what it seems like, in terms of how stereotypically women may go through the world, perceive the world, etc., kind of live their life, right? And so listening to how this person here is speaking, where's the love? Like, I mean, bro, you can say that in this modern Western society. I'm sure that's a thing, right? Sure, why not, right? But you have to understand that, like, stereotypically, this is not something that is like the immediate. Like, I mean, generally men are not born with like inherent deep worth, guys. But either way.
Sorry for him.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do?
Okay.
The poor guy, no one loves him.
That's a bit of a... Well,
go
Alyssa,
ahead.
you mentioned, like, why does he do it in this chaotic way? I think we heard all about the military presence and watching those Arctic routes. We knew that part. And as Maggie Haberman was talking about earlier today, Sonny, you were echoing this, we already had those rights. But what he might have worked out in this over-the-top deal, which I'm going to pat myself on the back and said yesterday, when you come in chaotic and crazy, the deal you make seems sane by comparison, if that makes sense. So now, getting the possible
People
first
with amnesia.
but first right of refusal potentially on those rare minerals, which right now China has an almost monopoly on that market with 90% of what it takes to produce this, and Greenland has a huge amount of it. So it would pretty much knock the world out of the economic competition of future electric batteries.
So just know that was not discussed in what Mr. Rutte said that was
It
not
was
discussed. No.
Well, it was written about. Sorry, because
it was written about by other people. He has not made a new deal. There is not
No.
a new
It's
deal.
not a good deal. What they have on the table that they're looking to get done, which now people seem
But
willing to.
who is looking to get it done?
See, the head of NATO, which Denmark and Greenland will probably just take whatever
that's my issue. Like, he met with the head of NATO. The head of NATO is not the sovereign of Denmark. So if you're trying to get Greenland, which the sovereign is Denmark and it's semi-autonomous, then you have to meet with Denmark. And so I don't really think anything really happened. But what's so distressing to me is he's like, who's your daddy and all this stuff. He's so deeply unserious. He's so deeply unserious and so deeply unpresidential that it's sad and an embarrassment to our country. It's an embarrassment to Americans. I'm so disgusted by that. But the other thing is, I don't really think he did anything. He told CNBC, we have a concept of a deal. We've heard that before, right? Like concepts of
this is getting outrageous, bro.
On CNN, he said, the U.S. got everything we wanted. Well, that's not true. And then he said, just this morning, he told ABC's Rachel Scott that the U.S. would have control of Greenland. And so we don't really know what's happening, but what we do know is he started this strange board of peace at Davos, testing the global order, and I think it's something that not enough people are talking about. He said he wants this new board of peace, to work with the United Nations, and that once the board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do. He is apparently, it's a global scope, but only one person in charge. Trump will serve as the indefinite chairman of the board, possibly holding the post beyond his second term as president, according to the charter. And one man has the power to veto decisions, approve the agenda, invite members, dissolve the board entirely, designate his own successor. His name is spelled out in Article 3.2. And guess who's on the Board of Peace? He's the executive founder.
Right.
It includes his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff, and former British Prime Minister, Tony Blair. And so we're talking about a new world order here, and I think we really need to be very...
The countries. Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, and the UAE.
Can we get back to the Greenland stuff? It's
bastion of democracy.
Countries.
Is there a democracy?
My greater point to break it down was it wasn't just the military, it was these minerals. And there's language now around not just the head of NATO, but that Denmark and Greenland will make the deal potentially, giving the United States first right of refusal to those minerals, which would be a big deal.
I actually think that we're actually really close one, and I think in this day and age when we're all just feel like chaos around us, we should take wins where they are. This is a win for NATO. Denmark and Greenland were part of these conversations overseen by the NATO Secretary General. This is what they ultimately wanted. They want a greater U.S. military presence there, but it allows them to maintain their sovereignty. Sovereignty is not part of this deal, despite what we may end up hearing from the White House.
Yeah, but guys, we need more.
We're going to have a larger military presence and a shared missile defense capability.
I don't believe it.
And he's lifting the threat of tariffs on the European Union, one of our biggest trading partners. The Europeans stood strong, and he had to fold.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest here. Whoever this person is here seems to be like the only voice of reason, and that's the part that's crazy. Because again, I don't know what any of these people are except for like the main ones that kind of hit the. Hold on, guys, we're done. I don't really want to see any more of this, bro. I can't. This is I don't know. But either way, whoever that last person is, she specifically seems like to be the overall voice of reason. She's kind of delivering facts in a sea of basically opinions here. And let's not convolute, let's say, the fact and an opinion here. Okay, guys, so understand this here. Please learn to start picking through the nonsense and just kind of stick with the facts here. NATO needs this, definitely. Now understand this here, that I absolutely believe fully that on February 1st, we were going to start hitting the European Union with 10% until they came to the table. And if they didn't come to the table within a set amount of time, they were going to raise the tariff rate up to 25%. No, this is a tactic that Trump has used before, right? It seems to kind of generally get the ball moving and rolling, right? Is it like the best thing in the world to sit here and, in an attempt to gunboat diplomacy our allies? Not really. Okay, it's not the best thing here, right? But it tends to work, right? So do I think another president's probably going to do something similar to this? No. It's just Trump here. And I've said numerous times, bro, what did you expect when you decided to bring a New Yorker into the White House, bro? Like a modern day New Yorker in the White House. Listen, I'm a New Yorker. Never elect me. I'm telling you, I will be a tyrant. I can tell you this without without even second guessing myself right here, I'm telling you, I'd be a tyrant if you were to like elect me into some office or make me a police officer or like a mayor or a governor. I'm telling you, I'd fix. You guys were trying to hold me for like war crimes or something. I'm telling you right now, I'd fix a lot of nonsense, bro. A lot of it. So either way, you elected a New Yorker and told this man to be palatable for basically everyone, everyone's emotions, specifically like the incredibly emotional ones exclusively, like be palatable, not to say something that offends some of the weakest minded people around the universe here, right? That's what you're saying here. But listen, he's getting things done. Would I go about the way that he's doing these things? No, I wouldn't do 90% of it. No, I'd be worse. I'm telling you. But either way, but yeah, that's what he's doing here. Listen, do we need a much stronger presence in Greenland? Absolutely. If it was ours, would that be amazing for us? Absolutely. Like that in itself would be great. I'm telling you, it'd be amazing here. But also the woman that spoke at the end here, she also is moderately, well, she's correct, right? We do have like the framework already set up for us to basically put more troops there. But again, if we're not really getting much out of it, I think we want more, right? That's kind of what it is here. Give us full, leadership and ruling specifically of that region so we can kind of flesh it out, and the minerals that are there are ours, and all of these things here. But again, it is a sovereign nation. So we're kind of all over the place in terms of how we're going to do this here. But we need to be there, if that makes any sense here, right? Like Trump is not wrong in terms of like overall national security, but that also could be done by us not doing this absolute sideshow, let's say this year, right? Like if we were not doing the sideshow, then I do think that we probably would get a little bit further here. Like we could then kind of go in, set our troops there. But again, obviously, what are we really getting out of protecting a place that really does not matter to us other than us owning it so we can have all the things that come from it, right? And then also set up proper like infrastructure there to kind of mitigate any type of ICBM or ballistic missile, et cetera, that's being launched from either Russia or China, right? Because I mean, they're going to pass over Greenland, right? So, all right. Now, another one of the main concerns kind of from earlier in the video itself was the verbal mishap, right? By calling Greenland Iceland. Again, I want to go ahead and point out, this is not an uncommon thing. Like if you speak to people, this is not a super uncommon thing. Iceland is a place with all the ice. Greenland is a place that's green, right? It's the opposites, guys. It's like honestly, I would have probably named it something different. I would have probably flipped them because what's going on with this, bro, right? But that's how that goes, guys. Listen, let me know in the comments on what you guys think. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I will catch you guys later. Guys, movies with me. I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.